Hi friends, good morning. It's a little bit later out than I was hoping to get out here, but it's been actually nice the past few days. It hasn't been 100 degrees and really humid, so we enjoyed yesterday. We're going to enjoy today, but we have a lot to catch up on. You could see the cucumber beetles have been decimating lots of the plants, and they are fast. It's really hard to catch them. I spent an hour yesterday trying to catch and kill as many as I could. The pollen is also incredibly high the past few days, so my allergies have been acting up and causing some coughing, some sneezing, some migraines. So we are just taking it easy. We did have an extensive amount of rain last Sunday, a week ago. Some parts of the area got 7 inches of rain. I don't know how much we got because we don't have a rain gauge, but you can see all of the bug damage on the potatoes. So I don't know if it's from Japanese beetles. I don't know if it's the cucumber beetles. These potatoes are kind of making a comeback, but not so much. They do have new growth on them that don't have disease on them, which is great. But overall, we are dealing with tons of bugs. The Japanese beetles got to this rose bush as well. The red and black beetles were attacking the milkweed. You could see the blackberries are beginning to turn. So are the elderberries, so we had to put cages on them. These are the string beans that I hope to get some string beans from. The one butterfly pea plant that survived, thank goodness. I want to bind some organic butterfly pea flowers to make tea because I didn't think I was going to get anything. So maybe we'll get something. But I did take a lot of the peas out because they started to die. I just walked into a spider web. Not fun. And you could see the lettuce is on its way out as well. The kale is still getting eaten. I'm picking off worms. Squash are still struggling over here, as we know the ground is not that fertile. We did not amend this area. I did want to show you the hazards throughout the backyard. You have to be mindful when you're walking in my backyard. This is the garlic what we got this year, which is pretty good. It's not great. Some of them are really small, but some of them are a good size. But some of them, I don't know if I'll be able to save them for the fall, but they're mostly small. They're mostly really small, which is disappointing. But you can see how the elderberries are beginning to turn. This is the American. The berries are starting to form. This one you can eat the berries raw. You don't have to cook it. This, they already got plucked off. I was going to pick berries this morning and the birds already got to them. Man, we have it netted, but some of the berries were close to the netting and the birds picked them right off. So I got to go in here today and pick through these before the birds. They've been getting stuck in here as well. I don't know how they're making their way in. They must be getting in from the bottom. But the cardinals have been on here. We've got to check the blueberries today to see if this new design that we did actually worked. It looks like the berries are slowly turning, but when we tried them, they were sour. So not great, because that means the system did not work and that not enough sunlight is getting in. You could see we have some cabbages that formed on 2 of these cabbage plants, but they have worm damage. So everything was sprayed last night by my husband. We're hoping. The whitefly was so bad. You could see how big the tomatillos are now. They are basically bigger than the trellises we have them on. Bee, get out of the bushes! You can see signs of disease on the tomatoes that I've been picking off. We have some tomatoes beginning to turn. Those are the strawberry I think the strawberry cherry tomatoes, you could see the purple coloring on them. And then those I think are sun gold, but they look pretty big for cherry, so I don't think that's right. But it says sun gold on my handwriting, so I don't know if they might have gotten mixed with something else and they're not true sun golds anymore. The green zebras at the end are both still struggling. These are our Tremosino squashes. I'm trying to train them to grow up the trellis. They're not really taking off as much as they did last year. I don't know if it's because of the extreme heat. I don't know if it's because we seeded them so late. It makes me concerned. You can see in here we have our melons, and actually this is a big bed of purslane. I did harvest a lot out of it last night. The reason I let the purslane grow is for two reasons. One, I use it, and two, it's acting like a weed barrier. So it's actually keeping the weed pressure down from the other weeds. And so I'm okay with that. So, again, whatever you want your garden to be, let it be. But for me, I eat my weeds, so I'm okay with having weeds there. It doesn't bother me. It bothers my husband, but I don't really care. So, because I'm the one that grows and prepares and preserves everything. You can see the calendulas are filling out nicely. We've got some borage. Unfortunately, things are growing out of the bed. I wouldn't have put this bed here because it's right in the middle of the walkway, but I'm not the designer in the family. You can see I did get cages on the rest of the tomatoes yesterday, thank goodness, because they were struggling. But you could see there's still a lot of whitefly, and I'm leaving these in because I was hoping to still get something off of them. But I think the time has come to get rid of all of these, and I'll use the leaves for dog food, and I'm just gonna fill in this bed with new soil, and I'm gonna start again with new cabbage and new broccoli crops for the fall. That is the plan. We'll see if that actually happens. But you can see after we got so much rain, after having no rain, the plants are happy, but there's a lot of signs of disease. The tomatoes that are on the fruit doesn't seem to have disease. This is a volunteer Cosmo. Look how big it is. And you could see still the difference between the plants, right, that were all planted at the exact same time, and how some are looking great and some are really struggling. I guess I'm going to go this way. You could see how big the fennel is. We found some swallowtails on the parsley. We moved them to the fennel because I actually just take the seeds of the fennel. I don't actually use anything else of it. So we're going to move this out of the way. Hopefully don't get stung, which we did get stung the other day. But that's why we have plantain. Put the plantain on. I used my multi-use healing balm, and it worked out really well. So you could see that's the one volunteer tomato. That was our first tomato, the Roma. And then this are the ones that I did actually plant. You can see how they are not looking so great. Also, the things I planted in here are struggling as well. We did harvest some onions. All of the garlic is now out. Oh, this got messed up. That's not great. So I was trying to save some of this stuff for smoothies and for dog food, but it doesn't always happen that way. What are you doing? Are you getting into trouble? Looks like you're getting into trouble. You can see the cucumbers. We've got our sunflowers here, nice and happy. We didn't harvest a few cucumbers. This one is a new variety that we're growing. I'd have to look at the seed packet. I don't remember offhand. We did have a silver slicer. That's what that is. And we did have 2 of our pickled cucumbers. But you can see, signs of disease on the leaves. You can hear lots of buzzing from the bees who are pollinating the plants. You could see there's even pest damage on some of my medicinals, my marshmallows. A lot of things got messed up from the rain and the wind. So I've been trying to stake what I can, but it's kind of little bit wild right now. And I'm okay with that. As long as I can still harvest, I can still get in here, I can still see what's going on, examining the weeds. Which is interesting is so I have, what are these? This one is the jalapeno. Oh great, I can't read it anymore. So we have habanadas, which, no, I guess these are the nata. Alright, so these are the habanadas, and they're very small, but they're bushing out nicely, which is good. And these are the jalapenos, and they're very tall. So I've never grown either of these varieties before. This is the first time, so it's always a learning curve. But you could see the other side of the cherries from here. There's not a lot of fruit, and they're not really growing as much as I thought they would. Again, the volunteer plants look a lot better, and that's typically always the case. You can see our plant up there. The hummingbirds go to that. So the volunteer plants, like there's a volunteer cantaloupe in the strawberry bed. You know, we've got our first tomato that set fruit was a volunteer. This is a volunteer. So it's just the way that it is. Like, the volunteer plants do a lot better than the plants I grew from seed and gave homeopathic remedies to and stressed over. And the ones that reseeded themselves, voluntarily came back, are a lot stronger, a lot healthier, less resistant to disease. And here are two volunteer tomatoes. You can see they have the potato-like leaves. We've got a volunteer melon here. And I'm just going to let that go because typically the volunteer plants are hardier stock. They've survived your environment before. They have come back, and they are going to be the stronger plants than whatever first year plants you're trying to grow. So I try not to get rid of volunteer plants because they usually provide a lot better than the plants that I actually grew myself. So it's looking wild. It's always that time of like, what's going to happen? You can see the butterflies have come back, which is exciting. We've got some of the strawberries that we've planted from first year plants in here. We did get some strawberries off of them. Unfortunately, we did not get to eat them. Something ate them. There is one there. But you can see, parts of the yard are looking good and parts of it are really struggling. So like this is a cucumber plant that I did not plant. Again, it must have been in the seed or it was in the soil. I'm not really sure. But I had cucumbers here last year. And this was just supposed to be squash plants. You can see the pest damage on the sunflower, right? And so the squashes are not really growing. I mean, look at that one. I did find one in the grass, a Trumbacino in the grass, so I plucked it out, but it's struggling. I was hoping that it would do well, but you could see like struggle. Green stalks, struggle. So some things are doing okay and some things are just really not doing so great. And that's disappointing and it's frustrating, but it's something I can't really control. So I will fertilize today. I will harvest elderberries today. I will be mindful of the trouble bee gets in because we do have some baby birds that are around. And I will enjoy not having crazy humidity and 100-degree temperatures because it's coming back in the next few days. But this, you okay, bee? It's too hot for you? Yeah, it's hot for you? I know. This, my friends, I don't know if you can see the butterfly, is what the garden looks like on a Sunday morning in late July. It is a beauty to behold, but it is not yet providing food. But we can always hope. We can always hope that tomorrow maybe there'll be a cucumber, maybe a tomato will turn, maybe something will crop up that we didn't actually plant. And we could be grateful for what we have right now that the birds don't eat, that the insects haven't destroyed. Until next time.